Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Halifax Raiders Draft Glory franchise mode here in NHL 24. So I am recording this about 6 hours after you guys seen the last episode, and of course the main reason why is because I want to see what Sheriff does this season, because if you guys watched all the way to the end of last episode, we found out that Sheriff developed to a 79 overall as a low top 9. The crazy thing is he was only a 48 overall when we drafted him, and he's got some really crazy passing stats and offensive awareness. So I think this guy is going to do insanely well as a player for us on this team, behind the likes of like Lehman, Ahonen, who we just drafted, and Wilm. So I'm hoping that Sheriff could have a breakout season this year and start contributing to the team quite a bit, because last year he had 30 assists. And since he's getting much better overall wise, I think this guy is going to be a pure playmaker that this team kind of needs on a cheap contract. So he only had 52 shots all last season. The year before, only 19 shots. So this guy does not shoot a lot, which makes me think if we put him next to a good shooter, he could produce at a very good level. So I did something a little bit crazy in between episodes that you guys might not be expecting, but I decided to give him an 8-year extension and see if he'll accept it. The 8-year extension would be 8 years at only $1.8 million, so he would be here on a very cheap contract, and there is a chance he could break out into being a pretty good player for us in the series and at a cheap contract too. So yeah, I just basically decided to give him that contract, and we'll see what he's able to do this season. If he's able to get into the 80 overall range or more as a low top 9, that's a massive win. This guy was not even supposed to get drafted. Like, I went back and it said that he was supposed to be going in like the 250 range. We took a chance on him early. He was a 48 overall low top 9. I didn't think much of that, and somehow within a few seasons he might honestly be one of our best players, which is very exciting. So hopefully he accepts that 8-year extension, which would kick in next season. But anyways, before we get into finding out if he accepts that, and also if a few coaches accept, because I did offer some coaches some contracts, we do have to get to our comments. So let's get to those 2 comments I have. So the first one is from Jeffrey Linsky, who says, made the right choice at 3. Nice pick with Dimitra too. And yeah, I agree. I think Dimitra is going to be a really great addition to this blue line. I didn't see him when we were originally scouting, but I did look at him when we were drafting, and yeah, he's going to be a pretty solid addition to this team. Very good defensive defenseman to have behind Kolesnik, so we have 2 really good right-handed DFDs. The hope is now that we can find some more good defenders in the upcoming drafts that are a little bit more offensively minded, like two-ways and offensive D-men, because obviously having too much DFDs wouldn't be necessarily the best thing. You kind of want to have a good mix of player types on the back end. And then the last comment is from Rahul B, who says, I would suggest to sign an A overall coach or find somebody that has an A in teaching, as it should help with the development with the younger players, and hopefully Halifax should be able to get 10 plus wins this season. So those were the comments I got in last episode, because I am recording this a bit afterwards, like I said, but obviously there would probably be more that would funnel in afterwards. I know it's Thanksgiving here in Canada. Hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving indeed, and hopefully we could find ourselves with a good pick this year in the draft, because we've been falling from 1 to 3 quite often. Hopefully we could also get some pretty good results in terms of our players, especially that top line. Very excited to see what Ahonen could do on that top line with Wilm and with Lehman. So anyways, let's see if those coaches and if Sheriff will accept that 8-year extension. It would be kind of insane if he does. Pearson did rejected. This was an AHL coach I was looking to get, so I'm going to try and re-offer him a contract again here shortly. And apparently this guy as well, he doesn't want to join a potentially toxic environment. Oh my god. Okay. Well, let's go back for those coaches again. So that was LaBarbera, and there was an AHL coach as well that I was interested in, just because he had like a 72% scheme fit with our AHL, so that would be kind of good for our AHL team, because that way we could get some good development maybe from our prospects. So I'll just give these guys more money, so that way they actually take it. Who cares if you're joining a toxic environment? You're going to help us win some games. Where's that other AHL coach? Let's see. I think he was down this way. I don't remember if he was an AHL head coach or what. Let me see if I can find him again. Let me actually just go AHL head coach first. No, he wasn't a head coach, I don't think. Don't see him here either. I know he was one of these, I think. What was his last name again now? I have to actually... I can't even check back on the video since I'm in the middle of recording. God damn, I wish I would have checked this beforehand. Don't remember his friggin' name now. I'm gonna have to go through Scheme Fit and just see. Let's see. We want to find a guy that had like 72%, I think it was, for Team Fit. There was a 70, but that wasn't him. Yeah, I don't think it was anybody in the assistant coaches. You guys probably already know who it is, and I'm probably like passing by him. Oh, there he is, I think. Was it McLaren? Yeah, I don't know if it was McLaren, but McLaren would work too. Let's check head coaches here. Because there was a couple good AHL coaches. Oh, it was this dude. Yeah, Preston Pearson. That's right. Okay, let's try and get him to accept. Geez, that way we could at least get our youngsters some good growth potentially in the AHL by having an okay coach for them. He's not the best coach, but he's a good scheme fit, so maybe some of the AHL guys will produce at a good level. So let's see. Oh wait, did Sherov accept that? He did. He did. Sherov accepted that 8-year deal. LaBarbera has come in. I don't know about the other dude. Pearson rejected again. Oh, well, we won't worry too much on Pearson because we don't even really have a full AHL yet. But, yeah, Sherov is on an 8-year deal now. And you guys are probably, some of you are probably scratching your head, but it's $18.75 for 8 years. It's not going to break our bank. And if it pays off the way I'm hoping it will, I think this is going to be one of the best contracts in the NHL. So, very excited to see if he's able to actually produce at a good level. Speaking of which, I was thinking of maybe trying this season him with the top guys just because of the fact he's got the great passing. And that way we're not kind of rushing Ahinen to the top line because he's not as good of a passer. I'm still thinking I might try that. I do... Oh, sure, I was already on the power play. Okay, good. Do I want to take that chance? I know you guys would probably hate me for it. It does give it a +3, that top line. Maybe I'll alternate at game 41 of the season without even taking a look at their player stats. And that way we could get them both a bit of time because I am very curious on if Sherov could produce at a good level. Considering he had only 30 assists last season, I think he could hit 40 assists this year too. So we'll see if he's able to produce good enough. Let me make... Oh, wait, that's why the chemistry was adjusted because of that new coach. I wanted to actually see about that. I wanted to see what this new coach, what the chemistry is looking like. Ooh, that -2 I'm not liking now, though. Ooh, maybe this new coach is not the best idea. Maybe I'll go back to the other guy. I don't know. I might as well just leave that -2 for now. It's not like we're trying to win games absolutely this season. Yeah, we'll go with this, I guess. Still, how's the special teams looking like chemistry-wise? Not bad. Penalty kill, how is that looking? Okay, the penalty kill looks better because I think it was in the minuses with the old coach. But now the question also is about this season is how much points does Wilm have? Because he had 90 points last year. Can he break 100 points and can he break 40 goals this season? I'm thinking he can, but it also depends, I guess, on the rest of the team. If the rest of the team takes that next step forward as well. Because he's definitely been our best player. And if the team isn't doing well, then he probably won't do it as good either. We are having a pretty solid preseason here. Wow, we actually went 500 in the preseason, 4-4. That's pretty impressive considering in the first year we didn't even have a single win. Oh my god. Okay, maybe we keep Ahinen on the top line. What a preseason for the youngster, Liam Ahinen. 14 points in 8 games. Well, our top line might have an insane season this year based on that. Sherov only had 4 assists in 8 games, which is a bit concerning. But I think this guy is going to have a good year. If he doesn't, I'm going to look kind of dumb. But I think I was willing to bank on that attempt anyways because he's got great passing and offensive awareness. So let's see if he drops down in overall to start the year, if he's actually a 79. Because I am curious on that. He is a 79. Wow. That's actually kind of nuts. So yeah, I think we'll go to game 41, or we're going to go to January the 1st, and then the second half I might try Sherov on the top line. But it depends on how Ahinen is at that point. Because obviously Ahinen is more important, but it would still be cool to make Sherov grow into being an absolute unit for his team. But let's see what this team does this year. You guys were thinking double-digit wins this year. I'm thinking that as well. So hopefully we can get into the double-digit win category. We should be able to with our top line. We should be able to as we start the first 2 games of the season, getting outscored 11-2. Not a great sign on that front. Have not won a game yet. There's a win early in the season. That doesn't happen that often. Back-to-back wins. Okay, that's maybe our first 2-game winning streak of the season for entire time. We already have 4 wins. So we're already almost close to beating last season's record, which is kind of nuts. And we have a couple extra frame losses as well. I'm hoping that we could get to at least 10 wins this year. But if we could get to like 15, that would be even better. There's 5 wins. Our most wins in the season was last year was 7. There is win 6 already. Holy crap, okay. Like, we might be still off to a disastrous start. Hey, there we go. We already have our best season yet. There's already 8 wins. We were kind of expecting that we would have a good year this year by comparison to the prior seasons. And so far, that seems to be the case. We're already almost at double-digit wins before the end of 2026. Last 2 games of the year are both losses, though, unfortunately. So 9-25-2, still a terrible record, but we are winning games. Let's just get the rest of the season done. I don't think I want to put Shirov on the top line just yet. I want to see how Ahinen does this year. I'm expecting a big year for him, but it depends on the offense of the team as well, because if the offense isn't doing too well, obviously his point production won't be as good. Already had 12 wins on the year, and we've beaten Boston 2 times. Wow, we're on a good little winning streak, and it ends there. We had 3 wins in a row. Good little streak indeed. 13 wins. There's win 14. If we hit 20 wins this season, I'll be impressed. There's 15 wins. There's 16 wins. There's an OT loss. We might hit 20 wins this year. There's a chance. We just can't go on too big of a losing streak. There's 17 wins. 18. We honestly could hit 20 wins this year. I like the way this team is simulating right now. There's win 19 on the year. Yeah, we're definitely hitting 20 wins, I think, unless we lose every game in March and April. But what a turnaround for this team. Last year only having 7 wins, and we've more than doubled that this time around. Now we're losing every game, though. And our offense has dried up a lot. Come on, boys. Let's get win 20. Just get me that 20th victory, and I'll be happy. Will we get 20 wins? Yes, we do. We beat the Blackhawks. We have 20 wins in a season for the first time in franchise history. Our final 5 games of the year. Can we get any other wins? Final 2 games. And no, we cannot. We finished 20, 57, and 5. So we have points in 25 of 82 games. We finished with 45 points, which is more than double last year, because last year we finished with 20 points, I think it was. This year we finished with 25. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. And let's go. Let's freaking go. Mauricio Wilm has hit the century mark in the 50-goal season in his first year of his 8-year contract. Let's freaking go. That pumps me up. I don't normally go crazy like this, but that is huge. When you're on a team that only has 20 wins to pick up 50 goals and 101 points, you're going to be a friggin' stud. Like, Will might be one of the best players in the league soon. Holy crap. When I was predicting he'd hit over 100 points this season, I wasn't 100% sure because it depends on the rest of the team, but he definitely did that. And he also broke 50 goals, which is awesome considering I thought he was going to only get in like the 40-goal range. But to hit 50 goals at this age is remarkable. This guy already might end up being be an early favorite for the Channel Hall of Fame from this series, depending on how the rest of his career goes. But holy crap. Let's take a look at team stats and player stats for this season. So in terms of the entire league, we are dead last, right? Yep, we are dead last by not much, actually. The Flyers had a pretty rough season. We were only 11 points back of them. So we are almost not the worst team in the NHL. Goals for per game, we were still the worst offensive team, but we are definitely starting to score more goals per game. We're over 200 goals a season now. We were before in like the 100 goal to 198 or something like that range. Goals against per game also has improved, but it is still the worst. 4.52. Power play percentage in the league was one of the best, I think. Yeah, we had one of the best power plays in the NHL with a team this bad. That's pretty impressive. And penalty kill was dead last. So our penalty kill is still not good. Our defensive play still needs work, but our offense is there. If we can get that offense to get even a little bit better, and we get that defensive play up there, we're going to be a good team soon, which is great. 2 shorthanded goals, 13, 27, and 1 on home ice, 7, 30, and 4 on the road, 1, 8, and 1 our last 10 games. Not too bad. The question is, since Wilm hit 101 points, how much points did Ahinen have in his rookie season? How much points did Lehman have in his second season? And how was the depth scoring on this team? Let's take a look at what we got here. So Wilm with the 101 points. Oh my god. Minus 32. Or minus 32 is what I'm saying, not 32. What a year for Mauricio Wilm. He's just gotten better every single year. Like, his season totals from this year almost eclipses 2 totals from his first 2 years. Because he had a combined 103 points during these 2 seasons. During his last 2 seasons, he's got 191 points. He's almost point per game on a non-playoff team, and his plus-minus keeps getting better. His power play points is improving. This guy's a beast, and since he was on the wing this year, he was still winning draws, but he is not going to be up there for the Selke. But if we were putting him as our face-off man, he could be a Selke guy easily, which is kind of nuts. He's already 22, which makes me feel old considering the fact that I don't even know how the heck we went through 4 seasons already this. God damn. So what a year for Mauricio Wilm. Liam Ahinen in his rookie season, 76 points, 14 goals, 62 assists, 22 power play points. Really good year for Ahinen. That's what I'll take from him for a first season. He's probably a favorite for the Calder unless it comes down to plus minus, which honestly this game probably will do. Hasn't generated any X factors this season, which is kind of a surprise, but still he probably should do that soon. Sherov only had 38 points, but he is an 80 overall now. 1 better than last year. So you can see why like that 1.8 is not really that bad. Sure, he didn't exceed my expectations like I was hoping this year, but to have almost 40 points and only making 1.8 a season or so, it's not really that bad. If he got more ice time and if he was playing alongside Wilm, there is a chance he could have even done better. So maybe next season we give a chance to him and play him there. I don't know. Because Ahinen's only an 81, so we could always try and flip-flop the two. If we want to give Sherov a year of growth, we put him with Wilm and he should be able to skyrocket offensively. Staging 32 points, not bad. Up to an 83 and listed as a third-line checking forward. That's quite substantial growth. Coming off his ELC, he's going to need a decent chunk of money here early on. Yeah, not bad from Staging. Defensive play is really good. Like, that defensive awareness for a forward is incredible. So, Staging's great. Rocky Garboski probably is going to get replaced this offseason, likely. My guess. He might be in the AHL next year. 17 points, minus 60. Finley also might be getting replaced soon. They're both 67 overall now. Or 165, 167. Like, Finley only had the 1 goal, so there is a good chance that some of these bottom 6 guys are going to get weaned out very soon. Markov only 10 points. Not really sold on the depth scoring other than Staging, Sherov, and then obviously our top guys. Left wing wise, Lehman had 84 points and 40 goals in his second season. Okay, so Alan Lehman's arrived. Only a minus 16 as well. Very exciting. He has not developed an X factor still, which is interesting. So hopefully some of those guys on the top line do that soon. Petterman had 14 goals and 25 points. Not bad from him. He's only 68. Kind of not liking how Petterman's been playing. Hopefully he starts to develop soon though. Rolison, 18 points. Probably another guy that's going to get replaced soon. Right wing wise, Ponikarovsky dropped to 34 points since he was not playing with Wilm. So, yeah, you could definitely see the Wilm effect there with his 50-point season. But, I mean, 25 to 30 points still without him is not really that bad. But he is slowly developing for a low lead. Like, a 71 at 21 means he might cap out at like a 78 or 77, something like that. Smirnov had 15 points in his rookie season, which isn't too bad. He's a 65 overall now. Defensively, Paul Mayer, 31 points. Not bad. That's pretty good. He's up to a 71. That's way better than I expected for a top 6 prospect, but okay. Yeah, he's getting better. He is getting better. He's still not the best player on paper, but I'll still take him for now until we get some better defensemen in. Palin had 22 points. Palin's time here might be over soon. He's getting worse and worse every year in terms of offense, but his defense is getting better because the team is getting better. So yeah, Palin might get replaced soon. Dimitra in his rookie season jumped up to an 80 overall. I like that. 19 points for the blue line. 8 goals, too, as a DFD is not bad at all. So there is Dimitra. Not too bad. Kolesnik, 19 points. He didn't get any power play time this year, so maybe we should have had him on the power play. Because his offense definitely declined. He's up to an 85, which is nice, but that offense definitely ain't there anymore. So there's that. Kasivnikov and Emelin really didn't do much. 9 and 8 points each, minus 55. So, yeah, not bad from them, but these guys are likely ones that are going to get replaced soon. Goaltending-wise, let's see what we got here. Nikitin had 13 wins. Not too bad at all. 13, 42, and 4. 1 shutout. So we did actually have a shutout win. I didn't even realize that. An 890 save percentage and a 4.38 goals against. And Dave Cameron as the backup was 7, 17, and 1. I almost wanted to say 7. With an 888 and a 4.32. No goalie assists this season. So the goaltending and the defensive play needs to improve. And then the depth scoring probably needs to improve as well, considering we basically are relying on one line at the moment. So, but the plus minus from Ahinen and Lehman is very impressive, considering this team's not even that good yet. We've only won 20 games, but both of them were not that badly minus because they're out there for a lot of goals for. And yeah, Will might be up there for some awards this year. There's a chance, depending if there's any other 50 goal scorers. So let's see how Wilm did compared to the rest of the league. Okay, never mind. Never mind. The Leafs are cracked. Holy crap. Nylander finished with 127 points. Marner and Matthews with 119 and 118. And yeah, Matthews had 73 goals. Well, Wilm finished still tied with McDavid in goals. So that's pretty damn cool. But he finished 7th best technically. Tied for 7th best. But yeah, Austin Matthews is completely cracked right now. So no way he's going to pass Matthews in goals until like maybe next season. Jeez. Let's see the Selke candidates. Not that we'd probably have any up there. Tim Stützle is up there probably. Same with Crosby and Robert Thomas. Huh. Best defenseman this season. Cale Makar with 102 points. Carlson behind him and Adam Fox. What about goaltenders? Korpisalo. Okay, and Samsonov with 42. Most shutouts by a starting goalie, Vasilevsky with a 9 shutout season and a 924 save percentage. Holy crap. Okay, Vasilevsky likely is your Vezina favorite this year. Yeah, no question about it. Vasilevsky's going to win the Vezina. Let's just take a look at goalie points. Spencer Knight, any goalie goals for fun? Nope. Best rookie this season was Ahinen, but is he going to win it? I think he's got to. If he doesn't win it, I will be kind of shocked. We'll find out, obviously, in this episode, but he's got to win Rookie of the Year. The plus-minus on all these guys is not good, up to Teselios. And Teselios only had 44 points, which is 32 less. They got to give it to Ahinen here. Teselios is the one that went first overall, right? Yeah. They got to give it to Ahinen. If they don't, I'm going to be saying Ahinen won it regardless. No rookie goalies this season. Did they actually fix the rookie goalie bug? Because there's prior years where there was goalies listed as rookies still at the stage that weren't rookies. So they might have fixed something. So there is that. I also wanted to take a look at how good our AHL players did that we sent down there. So I'll go to their edit line screen to take a look at this just because there's not a lot of them. But I want to see how our AHL boys did. So how did Jaro Gallagher do? 35 points minus 45. 18 goals is pretty solid. I'll take it. I will take that indeed. Darcy Watton jumped to a 62, so he's getting growth playing in the AHL. He had 28 goals this year. So maybe Watton just needs a few years of AHL development before he's ready to make that next step. I don't mind that. Then we also have not Max Gortz, Mikhail Gortz. 13 goals, 10 assists, 23 points. Not bad. I'll take it. And then we also have Voloshenko and Pittin to look at. Voloshenko, 12 points. Not bad for a fourth liner. And Pittin's up to a 63. He also had 14 goals this year and 28 points. Defensively, Cadman McLaren, not bad. 24 points as a defender is pretty solid. I'll take that. And I think that's it on the defensive front. We did have goalie stay down there for a season. And he was not great, but the team is still not great down there in the AHL. So there is our prospects. Okay, now the question is, who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Where are we going to be drafting this season? And yeah, basically, what is the progress reports going to look like? Okay, hopefully we can get some good players in this year in the draft. Hopefully we win the draft lottery in a sense, but also that will cost us more money down the road. So, Wilm's contract's already a steal, which is really awesome. Who is going to win the Stanley Cup in 2027? I'll also show you guys their roster. The Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay, so Pittsburgh winning a Stanley Cup, and Crosby has yet to retire. Maybe he retires here. But let's take a look. Who did Pittsburgh beat for the Stanley Cup? Vancouver. Interesting. Let's take a look at both Pittsburgh and Vancouver, because I know you guys are going to want to take a look at their rosters. What do we got for the Penguins? Yeah, Crosby wins another cup. So, Crosby, Barbashev was added. Interesting. Same with Casey Middlestad. Michael McLeod was added. Teddy Bluger returned from Vegas. Or is that something that actually already happened in real life? I don't remember. I think he re-signed there in real life after his stint in Vegas, if I remember right. Or no, was that Vancouver? It might have been Vancouver. I don't even know. Barclay Goodrow, 15 points as well. He was really good for them. Matt Nieto. So they brought in a couple grindy kind of guys. They also brought in Jordan Eberle. Okay. Raquel's still there. They brought in Oliver Shillington behind Erik Karlsson. Colin Miller. Juuso Valimaki. So their defensive core changed a lot. Chris Letang only had 2 points at the age of 40. I get that he's dropped down a lot and he doesn't have X factors anymore, but wow. That's a rough playoffs for Chris Letang. And Jari's still their goalie. So Pittsburgh looks like that. Vancouver, who lost in the finals, looks like this. I won't spend too much time looking at their roster because they lost. Pretty much a similar roster to what they have now, except for like Christian Dvorak's there, Blake Coleman, and Pius Suter, which I think he actually did sign there in real life, but I honestly don't remember some of these signings. So let's take a look at these awards. So Toronto won the Presidents. Yeah, we already know Pittsburgh, Vancouver. Nylander, the Art Ross, and the Hart. McCarr wins the Norris. Marner, the Lady Bing. Liam Malhinen, the Calder winner. Let's go. Rookie of the Year. We have ourselves finally a legit award because Bill Masterton has been going to our team for the first 3 years. But Liam Malhinen has won the Calder. Love to see it. Crosby won the Conn Smythe. That's good for him. Vasilevsky won the Vezina and the Jennings. Him and Elena Felt. Labushkin won the Masterton this year, so there wasn't a player on our team this time around. Calgary's head coach wins the Jack Adams. Crosby the Selke. Nylander the Lindsay. And, of course, Austin Matthews the Richard. Any AHL awards for us? Probably not. Doesn't look like it. So there is the award winners. Now that we've seen that, the question is the draft lottery and what type of prospect is out there in this draft. And then we'll also take a look, like I said, at progress reports and contract situations. Once again, we do not win the draft lottery, guys. We get shafted again, but we don't fall back to number 3 this time. We fall from 1 to 2. So, at least we only fall back 1 spot, but Vegas moved from 8 to 1, and Washington moved from 13 to 3. Why can't we have like a one where we just stay at number 1, and these teams that jump up don't jump up that much? That's absolutely insanity. Well, interesting case there. Retirement-wise, I'm not going to really spend too much time on this, but Crosby does retire as a Stanley Cup champion again. You also got Kopitar, Phil Kessel in Tampa. Those type of things. Letang also retires as another Cup champion. Same with Jordan Eberle. Interesting. A lot of Penguins retiring. So there's that. Goalie-wise, Carey Price retires. He's the best. Darcy Kemper, Martin Jones, so on. Okay. Doughty, Kopitar, Suter, and Kessel are now coaches. So unfortunately, I know you guys said, like Dylan Burrows said, to bring Crosby in as a head coach. Well, he did not become a coach, unfortunately, which means we will not be able to do that. So we'll have to probably wait for somebody like Nathan McKinnon or another guy that's from Halifax like Brad Marchand if he hasn't retired already, which I think he did, if I remember right. Let's go to draft interviews. Let's go to draft interviews and see what we got here. Terry Nichols. So we might be locked into getting a center with our second overall pick because Terry Nichols should be going to Vegas. He's a center power forward. There's Matt Bufflin, who's a center two-way forward. We could easily take him at the second pick. Or we could go for a defenseman because we know defense is a place we need a lot. So there's Weimer, who's another right-handed defenseman and two-way. You also have Maddox Boyes, who's a two-way and left-handed, which I might lean towards more just because we do actually need a left-handed defender. We have a couple good righties. We don't have any lefties. There's also another DFD who's right-handed in Commodore. So I would probably lean towards, well, Bufflin or Boyes, and then I probably wouldn't take Weimer or Commodore because they're right-handed. Anything else interesting in this early stage of the first round? Not really. The question is there any late round steals that we could interview potentially? Well, we know there's a guaranteed medium elite goaltender if we want to grab one this time around, so Maxwell. There's also Tucker Perreault. We'll pin a couple of these guys. Another one in Jamie Lane. So there's 3 medium elite goalies. Interesting. There is this dude who's kind of intriguing, but he's first round. Another goalie there. There's a lot of medium elite goalies potentially this year. This guy might not be guaranteed, but I think he might be. Not really seeing any guaranteed medium elite steals for late rounds. Is there any guaranteed low elite steals, though, that I could potentially interview? There's one. Low elite two-way forward in Valerie Kuhlman. He is 19 years old. And he is 3 years out. Yeah, he'll be an interesting one to take probably for a third rounder. Reiner Keller. We don't know about this guy yet. I should probably interview him, so I am probably going to do him. Probably Vic Holmes I should interview as well. More as well. I think these 3 I'm going to interview them to see if I could get that thing guaranteed on them, which I might not be able to. Do I know their ETA for sure? Yes, I do. I don't know what kind of questions I'd ask them, though, to get their confirmed potential. Maybe find out about their weakness. But it looks like mostly everything's scouted about him except for the potential. Oh, it's his personality we need a little about. Okay. What about you? Let's see. What do I not have scouted out? His scheme fit. Alright, it's his skills as well. So I gotta ask him about his strengths. I gotta ask you about your personality. So let's ask Reiner Keller about his personality to try and get that confirmed low elite potential. I know this episode's going to be a little bit longer because of this, but oh well. Let's see. What type of personality are you, Keller? I have high standards of myself and my team. I want to win at all costs. Well, you're going to end up losing for quite a bit here early on, but eventually, hopefully, it all works out. That's all I really wanted to ask you. I think that should hopefully help guarantee that we know that he's a low elite. Let's see. No, we don't know for fact still that he's a low elite. I don't know why I didn't go up to 4 bars on the personality after I asked him. Maybe I shouldn't interview all these guys. I don't even know if it's worth my time. Well, let's talk to Moore, though, because Moore looks like he could be a legit good second-round pick. But we do need more defenders than forwards at this stage, so maybe I want to interview a defenseman as well to try and find out if there's any good defenders out there. So Moore, his shot. What about your weakness? You're a skill player, so no physicality, not a surprise. And final question I'll ask you is about your readiness, I think. Let's see. Your readiness is in 3 years still? Yeah. 3 years. Let's see if I end up getting anything out of that conversation with them. Let's see. Yeah, we know that he's physical for weaknesses. No guaranteed on him still, but he might be a good player. It's tough to tell. So one of those guys might be a good steal. Kuhlman, definitely a good third-round steal. Anybody else here? This guy looks intriguing as well. Not really seen too much. There is some defenders, maybe. This guy's listed as a gem, and he's a defenseman. Well, this is gonna be the other guy I'm gonna interview, I guess. Gotta just find out a little bit more about his abilities and all that. So yeah, let's talk to Daniel McLaren, because if he's a defenseman that's a little elite, obviously he's probably pretty high up on our list for a second-round pick or third-round pick. So, like, I would take him over a forward if we know that he's a little elite. Couple seasons, so probably 3 years out. What type of player are you as a defenseman? Okay, a two-way defender, it seems like, maybe. And let's ask you about your greatest strength, which I'm guessing is going to be something offensive like your skating. Let's see. Yep, insist skating, of course. Okay, so he's a fast skating two-way defenseman. Is he low and late, though, is the actual question. He's 3 years out, so he could be a top four, but there's no guaranteed on that. He is a gem, though, so that makes me interested. So, and he might have some abilities, too. Interesting, okay. Yeah, we have definitely some tough choices. This guy being 4 years out makes me think he's a guaranteed low elite, because usually low elites are 4 years out. Top fours are like 3 years out. Like, this guy might be low elite too. Tough to say. Any guaranteed top 6 players for the second round or top 4 defenders? There's a top 6 forward that's supposed to go 129th, but he does not look very good. He's probably going to be a very low overall. What about defender-wise? Not trying to look for low top 6s. No guaranteed medium top 4s. This might not be the greatest class. So we know that there's going to be a lot of medium elite goaltenders, but other than that, I don't know if this is going to be the best of classes. I'm very interested to see what we end up doing in terms of pick-wise. I think we might end up going for Maddox Boys because we need D-men. But if we get Bufflin in for like a second-line center, that would be okay. But at the same time, I kind of want to utilize Sherov. So, it's a bit of a tough choice with that second overall pick. Okay, let's take a look quickly at the progress reports and the contract situation, and then that'll be it for this episode. So, in terms of growth-wise, statistical growth looks like mostly from these guys, especially Ahinen. It sucks that it's not natural growth. Mayer's getting some normal growth. He's up to a 73. Love to see it. Layman's also getting statistical. What else we got here? A lot of natural growth too. Sherov is still an 80. It's mostly statistical, but his face-offs are improving, which is a good sign. Might have been a bad idea for me to give him an 8-year deal, but I'm okay with it still, I think. I'm okay with it. Let's go to into system, see what we got here. Decent amount of growth from a lot of players. Yeah, everything seems to be going pretty smoothly so far with this team in terms of turning it around, especially on the offensive side of things. In terms of contracts, we are going to have to dish out a big contract to Kolsnik. I probably, honestly, would give him an 8-year deal, even though he's not the best defenseman in the world for medium elite. Locking up a defenseman is pretty crucial for his team. So if we did like an 8 by 6.5, that would be fine with me. And then Stajan on an 8-year deal at like $3 million would be okay with me as well as a third liner, because we know that he might be crucial for our depth. And then the rest of these guys would be very cheap anyways, and qualified likely. So, there is that. What is Ponikarovsky trying to get? Yeah, see, Ponikarovsky's trying to get like $2 million right now, so we definitely got to get his price down a little bit. Palin's wanting a two-way deal now, so he's probably not going to be much better, which kind of sucks. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, obviously, we'll take it to another draft. We'll add some more good prospects into this team. And since we won 20 wins this season, I think we could easily get to 25, 30 wins next year with the addition of whoever we get at number 2. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.